It's good food, good times with good folks. It's good art, good meals, and good stories told. You know we building community round here, bringing people together whenever we create and share. And it's all love, we keep the energy high, so tap in with us, the vibes cannot be denied. We got local artists and our chefs cooking up goodness. From the kitchen to the streets, come and see what's cooking, From the kitchen to the streets, come and see what's cooking, From the kitchen to the streets, come and see what's cooking,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking. I'm your host, Rashard, where what's cooking in the kitchen and what's cooking in the streets. And today in the kitchen with us, we have Kristi Mevin. She is a yoga instructor. And just tell the people a little bit about you real quick.
Okay, so my name is Kristi Mevin. I was raised in Burlington, North Carolina.
B-Town.
Represent Bugtown. And so my background is in wellness and yoga. I'm a certified yoga instructor with 200 hours of instruction, over 1,000 hours of teaching. But I also have a master's in human services counseling where I want to be a life coach as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're going to get a little bit more about her, but first we're going to get to this little food real quick. And let us tell you what we got on the menu today. Today is a menu designed by Miss Kristi here. And we have steaks. We have ribeye steaks, to be exact. We have potatoes, which we're going to make like our What's Cooking version of scalloped potatoes. And then we're going to have some Brussels sprouts, and we're going to saute those, and we're going to do a little balsamic glaze over top of those. But first, we're going to get started with the prep right here. So let's get started, Kristi. Let's put on our gloves.
All right.
Ladies first.
Thank you.
Now that we got on our handy dandy gloves, it's time to start getting prepping a little bit. Kristi,
Okay.
I'm gonna let you start a little bit on the potatoes. If
Okay.
you want to go ahead and start peeling,
Absolutely.
we can put the potatoes peelings in here. And I'm gonna start cutting these Brussels sprouts. I'm just gonna slice them dead in half. worked in the food service industry?
Yes. My first serving job was with Chili's.
Okay.
I worked there in my undergrad at Winston-Salem State University.
Okay.
Go Rams. If you're not a Ram, then you ain't, you already know. So I started serving and then ended up moving to the Raleigh-Durham area,
Okay.
where I served and bartended. I was a shift leader there. I've worked in fine dining establishments. Yeah, so to answer your question, yes, I would say about 8 or 9 years experience in the food industry.
Okay. Did you like it?
I love it. I love it.
Now, what is it about the industry that you love?
I love that that you're around food, number one. Okay? So I love the fact that you're around food. I love that there's something new that you can experience every single time that you go in the restaurant. You meet new people. It's great for networking. You get to try different dishes. And the flexibility with the scheduling there. And of course, you make good money. We'll sprinkle that in.
Kristi, you had to pick Brussels sprouts.
I know, they're so time consuming.
Brussels sprouts.
I love the baby cabbages.
Still cutting these Brussels sprouts in half. Kristi, what do you got? You have the potatoes and you're
Yes.
slicing them for the scallop potatoes. And actually, you're slicing them very, very, very well.
Well, thank you.
You have excellent knife skills.
Well, thank you. That is something that I picked up on being in the restaurant industry at one of my fine dining restaurant jobs. The chefs in the back taught me how to hold a knife, where you're supposed to tuck your finger in like that, versus a lot of people like to do that.
Yeah.
Because you lose control of it and you could easily cut yourself.
Now, what is your favorite cut of steak?
Ribeyes.
Ribeyes.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of the marbling. A lot of flavor comes with it.
You know your stuff.
I do.
You know your stuff. All right, Kristi. Now we got everything prepped. We got our hot stuffing going. I got the water going back here for the potatoes. I got a pan here for the Brussels sprouts. We got the steaks laid out. So we're ready to get cooking. I hope y'all are ready for this. Let's throw some of these potatoes in. So I think our pan is hot for our Brussels sprouts. I'm going to throw it in. Pan is hot. I'm going to heat it with just a little bit more oil. And then we're going to go for the salt and pepper. Quick little toss. There you go. We're going to let them do their thing for a little bit. And now we're going to give these potatoes just a slight little stir. All right, I'm going to throw a little bit of water into these Brussels sprouts so they have just a little bit of poaching liquid or cooking liquid. And they'll steam a little bit. And that's what we want. We want a nice little bit of steam. You know what I'm saying? That'll help. Yes, yes, yes. Technique. Look at the technique. Somebody showed her something. That's a wonderful technique. She told you she's already worked in restaurants, serving, bartending. She looks like she should have been a chef. I think you missed your call.
No, I cook at the house. I love cooking.
All right, guys, we got the potatoes ready. I've pulled the Brussels sprouts off, and I'm letting them just slowly cool down. We're going to hit that with some honey and balsamic in a minute. But now we're getting ready to make our scalloped potato cheese sauce. We're going to add a little cream. And it depends on how much sauce you want in it. For this I'm going to use about 3/4. A little bit more. So I added some heavy cream. I'm going to hit it with a little salt, a little pepper. And see, also I'm going to add a little onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder also. Typically,
Please flavor it.
yes.
Please flavor your food. For the love of Jesus.
Onion powder, a little garlic powder. And here, I have a nice wedge of fresh Parmesan cheese, and we're going to grate that into the sauce. We're also going to add some cheddar cheese to it.
Of course.
So the parm and the cheddar, oh my God.
You have to have that bite from the cheddar.
Put it back on the heat. We're going to let this warm up, melt this cheese, and make a delicious, delicious, delicious scalloped potato sauce.
Can't wait.
She's hitting that balsamic on the Brussels. And with the honey, so you got that little savory, the little sweet. And she's going for the flip. Oh, there she goes. All right, the cheese sauce looks like it's done. And Kristi has grabbed us a tasting spoon. Do you have a tasting spoon?
I don't.
Yeah, we got to taste this cheese sauce. We're going to make sure this cheese sauce is right before we pour it over our potatoes. Because once we pour it over our potatoes, we can't do that.
That's true.
So let's take a quick little dip. Oh man, this looks delicious.
Yeah, it looks so good. It smells good too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You can taste the cheddar. That bite in there.
And you get that parm in the
The
back.
smokiness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That is good. All right. Now we know that the cheese sauce is wonderful. We're going to put this cheese sauce over our potatoes. Give it a quick little stir because our potatoes is nice and soft. So we don't want to beat them up too much. Look at that. Sit this down right here so I can hold this still. This is an outdoor, no-bake scalloped potato. And we have plenty of cheese sauce, so if we want cheese sauce on our steak.
Or our Brussels sprouts.
All right, now we're getting ready to throw these steaks on. We're going to get these things cooking. Just hit it right here on a little bit of oil. I tell you what, Kristi, why don't you throw one on for us too? So we done seen her knife skills, we done seen her tossing skills, so let's see her flat top skills. Oh, look at that right there, perfect, perfect. So y'all, Kristi's gonna have me out of a job. She's gonna be cooking. And she's gonna be what's cooking.
No, I think we still need you, Chef. I think we still need you.
But we're gonna give this a quick flip. Miss Kristi, I'm gonna let you have the first honors of flipping the first steak. We done seen her cut, we done seen her toss, now we're gonna see her flip. Oh, look at, ooh, look at that right there. Wonderful, wonderful. Now look, I low-key was just gonna let her flip one, but since she went ahead and flipped them all, I'll let her flip them all. That looks wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, Kristi, now that we've finished cooking and we've watched you use knives and flip things and season the meat and everything looks delicious and we're ready to eat,
Yes.
let us grab our utensils and let us taste everything and let's see what's going on.
Well, let's bless over our food first.
Yes, please.
Let's do that. Dear God, Heavenly Father, we come to you giving thanks into the food that has been prepared, blessing the hands that has prepared it, allowing us to come together for the great of our community. Please let the food be nourishment to our bodies. In your name, amen. What do you think?
Every steak is amazing.
Scalloped potatoes are perfect.
The Brussels sprouts with that balsamic and the honey. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said earlier, Kristi, I think you missed your calling. Oh man! So now that we've eaten, we were full. I didn't had some Brussels sprouts a different way. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The steak, y'all, was phenomenal. She's a great cook.
And the scalloped potatoes. I've never had scalloped potatoes that was not baked until today, and it was phenomenal. Amazing chef. Seriously.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But enough about food.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about you.
Okay.
So, well, let's start with what made you want to go into yoga?
Okay. So yoga, I started practicing back in 2013.
Okay.
During this time, I had just graduated from undergrad at Winston-Salem State, and I was in a really bad place mentally and emotionally. I had just, I felt lost, basically. So I started a yoga practice. I wasn't really consistent. And then I went through a period of substance abuse issues. And so that led me to dive deeper into my practice, because contrary to what the Western part of the world shows, especially on social media, yoga is more than just a physical practice. It also can help with your mental and emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being as well. So, yeah.
And I noticed your business is 108 Wellness, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
What is the significance of 108?
I'm glad you asked that. So 108 is, so we'll start with the yoga and spiritual community, because 108 has many different meanings to it.
Yes.
Many. You've done your research?
Yes.
Of course you did. So within the yoga and spiritual community, 108 is basically symbolic to having spiritual completion in your life and having a completion with the relationship with your higher self and or God.
Okay.
And outside of that, I like to use numerology as another example, because I love numerology. So within numerology, when you have multiple numbers, you're supposed to add them all together until you are down to one single digit number. All right, so 1 plus 0 plus 8 equals 9. And 9 is also, within numerology, the meaning of completion, because 9 is the last single digit number before you go into, 10s and 11s. And so that's why that's the significance of it.
I did understand that the numerology was a part of it. And I also did look up the 108 just to see.
Yes.
And it is, like you said, it has many different meanings.
Yes.
Spiritually, like you said, complete wholeness, complete center with oneself, self-awareness.
Absolutely.
And when I hear you tell just a brief little bit of your story about, some things where you were feeling lost, I understand where that 108 can be.
Yes.
You found that center for yourself, that completeness. And if you can, through your yoga practice, help other people feel completed, and 108 is your number that you found that brought you that center.
Yes.
Maybe that 108 can help somebody find that center.
Yes.
And what do you know about chakras?
So the chakras are energy points within your body. There is technically, so here's where going back to 108. So there's 121 chakras within the body, but only 108 that we ourselves can activate. The other ones, they activate on their own. And so, yeah, those, if you're familiar, and I actually have a tattoo.
Yeah, the chakras.
Yes. So this is the tree of life. The middle is a woman's temple, and then you have the 7 chakras. And activating each of those chakras will help to activate a certain level of consciousness within your mind, body, and spirit. There's more to that, but
it goes really deep.
it goes deep.
Now, if you don't mind, I know you said if it's not too personal, is there anything that you want to share with people that you dealt with that may have led you to the yoga experience and led you to find that center that made you feel lost, but you come out of it?
Yes. So particularly, I struggled a lot with anxiety and depression throughout my whole entire life. And I didn't realize it until I became an adult. So, coming to terms with, being adopted, not knowing the reason why, just feeling abandoned because it brings about abandonment issues. That was one of the reasons that kind of led me to my spiral. Another event that happened when I was younger, at the age of 6, my father, the one that adopted me, a lot of people get confused, but he's the only dad that I knew. So my dad committed suicide. So, that was an abrupt change in my life as a young child. And my father and I were very close, like we were best friends. I went everywhere with him. My mother would tell me stories about how she would want to go shopping and I would much rather sit on the front porch and watch him mow the yard versus going shopping. So we were close. And so after he passed, it definitely hit our family really hard. My father was a good man, very strong, would give the shirt off his back to any and everyone. And to know that someone so strong in your eyes was struggling deep down inside, that's a hard pill to swallow. So after that event happened, there was just a lot that we didn't talk about. And I dived into sports. So I was a serial athlete growing up. So that was a way for me to kind of release all of my frustrations and angers and stuff. And so fast forward to, college days, I graduated high school, I wasn't playing sports anymore, so I didn't have that outlet. So I turned to alcohol, you're in college, so you're partying. And when you're that young, it's innocent. Everyone's doing it. We're going to go to this party, we're going to get wasted, And so then that led, fast forward to, post undergrad. I was living in a bigger city, surrounded with, fast life energy. I was bartending and serving and just having a great time, living the life. And I was introduced to cocaine, and I loved it. Okay, I loved it. And I partied. I was the party girl. I was, a fun girl. Life of the party everywhere I went. Everyone loved my energy. And so then I just began to spiral. So pairing all of the drugs and the alcohol with my mental health, with the depression and anxiety, I ended up spiraling. And so then in 2016, I got a DUI. It scared the living hell out of me, because this was the first time that I had gotten into any type of trouble. Okay. Before then I was a good kid, I did what teenagers did, but I never got caught. Well, that time I got caught. Yeah. With 108 Wellness, there are 5 different pillars, and I firmly believe that as a whole person, we have to cater to every aspect of our life, not just our physical well-being, such as eating, working out, getting good sleep, drinking enough water throughout the day, but you also have your mental and emotional well-being that you have to take care of. You have to think of your spiritual well-being. Are you praying? Are you meditating? No matter what religion that you're a part of, if you are even a part of, talking to your higher self, to God, whomever you call God, and listening to that source is all a form of communication that is so beneficial to your well-being. And then social well-being is another pillar, where the people that you surround yourself with, having good people around you is very important to help you ascend and elevate your life in positive ways. And then occupational well-being. We're in the hustle bustle of life. money is the motivation, you know, whatever your occupation is, however you make money, I highlight the importance of having that work-life balance.
Yeah.
Because when you pour too much into one cup, the other cup gets empty. So
I like that. Yes. You have a wonderful energy, a wonderful vibe, and like I was saying earlier, I said we were going to get back to this. When you were doing your yoga poses, it was like a zen.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like it's like
Yeah.
you tuned the world out for a moment. The world did not exist. It was just you
Yeah.
doing yoga and just relaxing.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a very peaceful thing to watch. If you could go back in time to a younger you,
Mm-hmm.
or if there was something you could say to a younger someone like you,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say?
Okay. Good question. I would tell, honestly, my younger self, I've written many letters to my younger self. I would say, you're not alone. I would say you're not alone. Because I think that's one thing that I struggled with, and I feel that a lot of people struggle with in this world, is the feeling of being alone and misunderstood. Yeah. So I would tell them, you're not alone. Be patient and do the work.
Do the work.
Be patient and do the work.
It's not always easy.
It is never easy. It does get easier, but
Yeah.
while you're doing the work, it's not going to be easy. Absolutely not. But if you remain consistent and have the discipline and surround yourself with good people, it's going to get a lot easier.
I saw that you do corporate.
Yes,
and private. And
absolutely.
Tell everybody
I'll talk
all
a
of
little
this.
bit about my services, of course. So 108 Wellness, by the way, brings mobile yoga and life coaching services to individuals and businesses. And so I have different departments within my 108 Wellness business. I do private yoga sessions, one-on-one or small groups. So if you're having, you know, like a get together, throwing an event, if you have a sports team, maybe you're doing a girls' weekend and you want to incorporate some yoga, I got you. I also do corporate yoga and lunch and learns for small businesses on up to large corporations. You bring the lunch, I bring the learn, where we talk about work-life balance, mindfulness, and stress management, and we can do a yoga flow. And then I also work with the little ones. I do mindfulness in the classroom and yoga activities for child care centers and working on school districts. So, yeah.
Facebook.
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook at 108 Wellness LLC. You can find me on Instagram at 108_Wellness LLC. And then I also have a website. Check me out at www.108wellness.net.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the talented cooking, yogaing,
Jack of all trades.
jack of all trades, master of none, Kristi Mebane.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much again for being a part of this
You're
show.
welcome. Thanks for
Thank
having
you for
me.
your energy.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
your knowledge.
Yes,
Thank you for your story.
absolutely.